You are feeling very frustrated and bored with your ability to speak English fluently. I know, I've been there myself. You have been trying to become fluent in many occasions, but it feels like you're banging your head against the wall. You don't know how to overcome this barrier, how to knock down this wall. Stay with me. I'm going to share with you a technique that helped me in the past. Not only me, but also to my friends, the ones who used to live in the UK with me. You need to stop thinking in your native language and you need to start thinking in English. At the moment, probably you generate ideas, and when they become a bit more complicated, you start translating those ideas from your native language into English, and you do it word by word. You keep generating sentences or communicating those ideas using sentences that attend to your native language grammar. What you have to do to stop translating, you need to think in a different way. You need to start building your sentences the way native speakers do. But how do they do it? Well, we had to go back to the time when you were a child, or a native speaker was a child. They build the language not using just words. Well, maybe you do that when you're a baby, you just use words. But as you grow, as you become older, you start using different blocks of language, not just words. You start putting words together and creating blocks of information. With this technique, I'm going to help you understand how to build the blocks of information as a native person does. Stay with me. I'm going to tell you all about it. But first, consider subscribing to my channel if you are looking for more videos or tutorials on how to improve your communication skills, especially at work. Let's have a look. I'm going to give you some sentences and I'm going to show you how these sentences are built. We're going to go through the blocks of information and also the organization of the blocks of information. Let's take the sentence. The marketing team presented a detailed strategy for the product launch at the annual conference last Friday. What elements do we have in this sentence and how are they organized? Well, let's have a look. The marketing team, that is who. This is very important in English. You always need to say who or what, because this is the person or the group of people who perform an action. Okay, so this is what we understand in linguistics as the subject. The subject is the doer of the action. Obviously, after that, we have the verb presented. If we follow this order, most of the times we will be producing correct sentences. Third block of information, a detailed strategy for the product launch. If you ask the verb, what did the subject presented? What did the marketing team presented? Well, this is the object. A detailed strategy for the product launch. The next piece of information or block of information refers to the location. Where? This is what you need to ask the verb. Where was this done? Where was this object presented by the marketing team? Obviously, in this example, we have at the annual conference. And finally, we have last Friday. This block of information refers to the time and it answers to the question when. When was this detailed strategy for the product launch presented by the marketing team? Last Friday. That's your time complement or the information about time. In conclusion, if you always have the question words in your mind, like what or who, what did they do, and what was affected by the action, where did the action happen, or where is the action happening, and when is the action happening, or when did the action happen. That's the minimum you can provide. Then you can insert a connector. and repeat the process again. A connector, for example, like because, or you could say and, or, however, nevertheless. And then you begin with the same process, another 5 blocks of information. Sometimes you don't have to incorporate all those blocks. I mean, location and time. Well, time is quite necessary. The location, perhaps you don't have to. What you must not forget is that you have to have a subject, and that's how you must always start your sentences if you're not very fluent and if you don't want to think in your native language. And after the subject, after that block of information, you have to mention the verb. Well, sometimes the verb or the action doesn't have an object, because you can say they presented the strategy plan. But what if the verb is the marketing team went? If the verb is go, you don't need an object. You don't need that receiver of the action. You just need a location. The marketing team went to Paris last Friday. You see my point? So think about all the questions that you can ask a verb, and then provide that information in your sentences following this order. Why don't you try to leave me some sentences in the comment section following this structure? And if you use English for Business, even better. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos if you want to improve your communication skills at work. Bye!